Well, let's begin. Get ready. You should have your notebook because, well, this is a review, and open your book to page 99. Remember, like I told you, the test is for units 10, 11, and 12 from Touchstone 3. So get your notebook and a pencil. So in this lesson, in the unit 10, lesson A, we learned about the present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. Now remember, for the present perfect simple, the formula was have or has, and then the verb in the past participle. For the present perfect continuous, the formula was have or has plus been, and then a verb ing. Laurentina, do you remember the difference between the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous? No? No? Okay. Esmeralda, how about you? Do you remember the difference?
Yes, I think.
Tell me what you think.
One, I think present perfect continuous is for the thing you do, the action.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is I don't know the final result. I don't know.
Okay. Yes. I know what you're trying to say. So basically, the present perfect continuous is for the process, no? Like the process. And the present perfect simple is for the result. That is definitely true. That is definitely true. So like if you just entered the gym, you could say, I've been going to the gym for a few months and I've lost, let's say, 4 kilos. And that would be great. The process is I've been going to the gym for a few months and the result is I've lost 4 kilos. Okay. Now, another thing that we use the present perfect continuous for is for actions or events that started in the past and still continue happening in the present. Okay. For example, in this case, I've been going to the gym for a few months. I started going to the gym a few months ago, and in the present, I still go to the gym. All right. And the present perfect simple is for the result, usually for things that happen once, or you can have repeated actions. Like I lost my phone 3 times, but you have to specify that it happened in multiple occasions. But you don't have to do that on the test. On the test, this is the type of question that you're going to have. What have you been up to? And the answers would be something like, I've been taking a math class. B, I've been taking a math class. Or C, I've been taking a math class. And for this type of question, which answer would be correct, Alejandra?
Letter C.
Letter C. Yes. Michelle, why is letter A not correct?
Because Because it's in progress.
Okay. But
Actually, I take a math class.
but what is missing in letter A?
Because I have I don't have, never have.
Yeah, exactly. This I been is I have been. Exactly. Good. And Melissa, why is letter B incorrect?
Because when we use been, we need to put the verb in ing, no?
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Another type of question that's going to come on the test is this. I've been reading books every day. Hold on, let me fix something on my screen. Okay. I've been reading books every day, and I've been reading. B, I've been read. Or C, I've read. Think about the answer and give me a moment. I'm gonna go blow my nose. Oscar, what is the answer for number 2?
I've been reading letter C.
Good job. I've read. Yes, because it's the present perfect and the present perfect is the result. Here, the result is that you've read 10 books in total. Okay. Marco, why not letter B?
Because it finished, right?
It's finished? Okay.
It finished the action.
Yeah, and the structure is not correct, right? After been, you cannot use a verb in the past participle. You got to use the ing. And it wouldn't be A because it's not a process, it's the result. Okay, we have one last question, type of question that's going to come on the test with the present perfect and simple present perfect. This one. Robert has been studied. B, has been studying. Or C, has studying. Alejandra, which one is correct?
Letter A. No, sorry, letter B.
Letter B, correct.
Yes.
A and C are not correct because the structure is not correct. Remember, after been, you can never put a verb in the past. It has to be verb ing. Plus, this is had. We're not learning that yet. And has studying, nope. Every time that you use a verb in the ing form, it has to go with some type of the verb be. For example, if I say I studying, this is not correct. This is wrong. I can make it present and say I'm studying. Estoy estudiando. I can say I was studying. That's the past continuous. Estaba estudiando. And present perfect, I have been studying. He estado estudiando. But in every case, when you're going to use the verb be, you need to use some type of, sorry. When you use the verb ing, you need to use some type of the verb be. Am, was, or have been. Okay, remember that. You can never have a verb ing without the verb be. They go together. like twins. All right. Now, another concept from this lesson is since, for, and in. I'm going to erase number 1, 2, and 3. Since, for, and in. Can you please check your notes and tell me when we use since?
When it's that or something starts.
Very good, very good. For the starting point.
Mhm.
And for
Duration.
the duration, good, good, good. And what about in?
Duration too, but in negative sentences.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Is there any other important information for these 3 words that maybe we need to review? I remember I gave you a lot of notes for this, but do you remember? No. Okay. Well, check this out.
Yes,
Oh, tell me, Rociel, tell me.
you say that we use in affirmative sentence with the present perfect continuous for duration since one start point, and in negative sentence with the present perfect simple in and duration, and since in simple and continuous for in both since.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put present perfect simple and present perfect continuous, no? And you said in is only for the present perfect simple. Correct? And what about for? What did you say about for?
Or in affirmative sentence with the present perfect continuous for duration.
Right, good, good, good. So yes, right here, PPS means present perfect simple. PPC means present perfect continuous. Rosia, nice glasses.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Now, I'm gonna give you some sentences and you tell me what's the correct, I guess you could say connector for these sentences. If it's since, for, or in. What goes here?
Since.
Since? No.
For
Yeah.
Oh my God, no. It's
No.
in. It's in. But why is it in and not for and not since?
Because it's
Haven't.
a negative
Negative.
because
sentence.
it's the present perfect
Yeah.
continuous is negative. Yes.
Yeah, it's a present perfect simple and it's negative, so that would be the correct connector.
Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
Got it.
Okay.
What will go here? I haven't talked to him
Since
Since.
since 2018 because 2018 would be the starting point. All right. And that's all. I guess these 5 types of questions are the types of questions that are going to come on the test. Do you have any questions, doubts with the present perfect and since, in, and for? Or you're okay?
I think present
All right.
perfect simple is for yeah.
Yeah, present perfect simple is for the result. Okay.
Okay. Y present perfect continue when the situation starts.
Yeah, for the process or for actions that started in the past and then continue into the present. All right. Well, just so you can have a little bit of like real life practice, copy these questions. Copy these 2 questions onto your notebook. What have you been up to and what places have you visited this year? Remember, what have you been up to is kind of like, what have you been doing recently? So what have you been up to? You can say, I've been going to the gym. I've been taking classes. I've been cooking every day. You know, you should use the present perfect continuous to respond to number 1. And for number 2, you use the present perfect simple. What places have you visited this year? Oh, I've been to the beach. I've been to my grandma's house. I've been to Cancun. Any place, whether it's a big place or a small place. Give some examples. Okay, Viviana, copy these 2 questions or take a picture. Everybody's going to enter the breakout room and practice those 2 questions, please. Remember, number 1, use the present perfect continuous. Number 2, present perfect simple. Enter the breakout room. When you're finished, come back. Do this fast. Now, let's go to the next lesson, page 101. In this lesson, we practiced already, still, and yet with the present perfect. Here, I wrote some translations. Maybe they can help you. Ya is already, como ya lo vi. I've already watched it. Aún, todavía, y ya también son still, yet. Okay, but all of them have their specific uses. For example, already, you use it in affirmative sentences and in questions. Still, you use it in negative statements, and yet you use it in negative statements or questions. So, you know, already is the only one you can use in affirmative statements. It's the only one. But still and yet you can both use them for negative statements. The only difference is that you use still before haven't and hasn't. Like in this example, I still haven't seen it. You know, it still goes before haven't or hasn't. And the word yet goes at the end of a negative statement. Like here, I haven't seen it yet. Or it goes at the end of a question. Have you seen funny guy yet? Have you seen funny guy yet? ¿Ya has visto funny guy? No, aún no lo he visto. Aún no lo he visto. So I haven't seen it yet and I still haven't seen it. They mean the same thing. These 2 sentences mean the same thing. I haven't seen it yet and I still haven't seen it. They are the same thing, except that yet and still they are in different parts of the sentence. So here you got to remember you got to first see if the sentence is affirmative or if it's negative. And then decide if you want to use still or use yet. If you use still, it goes before have or hasn't. If you use yet, it goes at the end of the sentence. So on the test, you're going to have a sentence like this. Which one will go there? Already, still, or yet?
Already.
Still.
Yes, it would be
Oh,
still.
yeah.
It cannot be already. Why not already?
Because the
Because-
sentence is negative.
With affirmative
Yes.
statements.
Exactly. The sentence is negative and you cannot use already in negative sentences, only affirmative sentences. Okay, cool. Now this next one, this one is going to be a little tricky. Here, you can put two expressions. Which ones can you put here?
Yet.
Yet.
And
Already.
Already.
Exactly, because both of them go in questions. Already goes at the end of a question, and so does yet at the end of a question. Have you heard his new song already? Have you heard his new song yet? ¿Ya has escuchado su canción nueva? And that's all. Can somebody remind us what is tearjerker? What is tearjerker, guys?
When you cry? No? When you
Something
see a movie? When you watch a movie?
When you watch a movie and it makes you cry, no? Like the Titanic or the Passion of Christ. You know, those movies that make you cry, you can consider them tear jerkers. Okay, and not just movies, maybe songs too. Okay, like the Olivia Rodrigo songs, they are tear jerkers. All right, and that is all for this lesson. Do you have any questions?
No.
No? All right. Well, now let's go to Unit 11. Unit 11 was a little easier. A little. Okay, so on Unit 11, Lesson A, page 109, here we're talking about modal verbs for speculation. I think there were 5 modal verbs that we were using here. We were using must, we were using could, might, may, and also the negative form can't. Please get your notes and tell me when we use must.
Very certain.
When you're very certain. Yes. Okay. Good. Alejandra, when do we use could?
Good possibility.
Okay, it's a possibility. Laurentina, when do we use might and may?
May is more formal and less certain. Less certain in both cases.
Yeah, they're both like a less certain possibility. And may is also a less certain possibility. The only difference is that what you said is that may, it's a little more formal. It's a little more formal. And can't, well, that's the easiest one. Esmeralda, when do we use can't?
When it's not possible.
Yeah, it's not possible. Remember, when you are speculating with modal verbs, you're going to use the modal verb plus a base verb. Okay? Modal verb plus the base verb. Or you're going to use a modal verb plus be and then a verb ing. Some examples are, she must work a lot. He could sleep a lot. Or she must be working a lot. And he could be sleeping a lot. The difference between the first two sentences and the other two sentences is that when we use the verb ing, it's kind of like something that's happening in the moment, you know, in the moment. He must be working a lot now. He could be working a lot now. And she must work a lot and he could sleep a lot. This is more like permanent. It happens a lot. It happens generally. Now, with this lesson right here, the only way that it's going to work is if we look at things, observe them, and speculate. So let me show you some pictures and we're going to speculate. Rociel, how do you think this man feels?
She must be feeling happy.
Okay, good. He must be feeling happy. Good. Must be and verb ing. Or you could say he must feel happy. Yeah.
When we can use be, it's only be, no another expression.
Be and then the verb ing or only be. Yeah. He must be tired or he must be happy or he must be feeling happy and that's fine.
Okay.
I can say he must happy. Feel happy.
He must what?
He must feel happy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
He must feel happy. He must be happy. See, feel is like sentir and be is like estar. Ha de sentirse feliz, ha de estar feliz. And both of them would work. Okay. O sea, de estar sintiendo feliz. And that would also work too. Another picture. Michelle, how do you think he feels?
He must be
He must be high? No, he looks angry.
Angry, yes.
No? Okay, he must be angry. All right, cool, cool. And one more. This one is for Oscar. Oscar, how do you think she feels?
She must be feeling sad.
She must be feeling sad. Okie dokie. And that's all. That's all you got to know.
If I don't
She must be
use
feeling
the verb
boring.
with ing, I can use an adjective.
Repeat your question.
If I don't want to use a verb with ing, I can use an adjective.
That's fine.
Be. He must be angry.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can say he must be angry or he must feel angry. Or you can use the verb ing, you know, like you want to. He must be feeling angry.
Okay.
And they both work. You're welcome. Well, all three of them work. And that's it for speculating. You know, the formula is easy. You just need to remember what does must mean? What does can't mean? What does may and might and could mean? And that's all.
Okay.
Now this lesson, oh, I love this lesson. It's about the adjectives with ed and ing. Okay, so this is unit 11. Lesson B. Adjectives ending in ed and ing. Remember, not all adjectives end in ed or ing, but the ones that end in ed, they are to describe how a person or thing feels. Ed adjectives describe feelings, And that's really important. Remember that your day, your week, a tree, water, they don't feel things. They're not alive. And ing adjectives.
Describe the qualities of people or things.
Describe the qualities of people or things. Exactly, the qualities, not their feelings. Remember this. So if I ask you, how was your day? And you say, fue cansado. How do you say it? It was?
Who was tired?
Tired.
Tired.
Tiring.
Yes.
Okay, you cannot say
quality.
tired. Exactly. You cannot say tired because your day no tiene sentimientos. You have feelings. Yes. I can ask you, how do you feel? And you can say tired, and that's fine. But not your day. Your day does not feel anything. On the test, you're gonna have questions like this. I didn't like the song. I thought it was, class, bored or boring?
Boring.
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 Boring. Cannot be bored because a song does not feel. You can feel some way because of the song, but the song does not have feelings. Okay, I thought it was boring. The song was boring. Basically, I was bored because the song was boring. Estaba aburrido porque la canción era aburrida. Okay. All right, and this one right here. He was a really la speaker. The crowd loved him. A, interesting, or B, interested. Think about it a little bit before you answer.
Hello.
He was a really interesting speaker or interested speaker?
Interested?
Interested. Why?
Because, well, interesting. Sorry. I was
Why?
confused.
Why?
Because it describes the quality of the person. Right?
Yes. So the speaker is interesting, right?
Yes.
Good. Yes.
Mhm.
He was a really interesting speaker. Yes. Here, what helps a lot is the crowd loved him. The crowd loved him. So we love that he is interesting. We love that he is interesting. All right. This type of question is not gonna come on the test, but I want to see your logic. What is the difference between A, I'm bored, and B, I'm boring? Both of them are correct, but what is the difference?
Like I'm bored. It's like how you feel.
Exactly.
And I'm boring is like you are.
Okay.
If I say I'm boring, I'm saying like I'm boring, you know, like I'm not a happy person.
That's it. Knows. All right. Yes. Like your personality. You don't go out. You don't like parties. You stay in your house. Okay. Good. All right. The next one. I'm going parachuting next month. I'm excited or exciting?
Excited.
I'm
excited.
What
Why?
is parachuting?
Because it describes your feeling.
Parachuting, you know, with a book bag and you jump from the airplane or a
Okay.
helicopter.
Parachute.
Yes.
Parachuting.
Yeah. Parachuting. All right. And that's all right there. It's really easy. Never use ed adjectives for things. And that's all. Okay. Never use ed adjectives for things. So, Lorentina, how do I say mi día fue aburrido? My day was
My day was boring.
boring. Good job. Good. And Viviana, how do I say mi papá es aburrido? My dad
Where?
Mi papá es aburrido. Es
Is
boring or bored?
bored.
No, it's boring. Because this is personality. Now, if I say mi papá está aburrido, then yes, it would work because that's how he feels.
Is bored.
How he feels and how he is. My dad is boring, así es su personalidad. My dad is bored, es como se siente. Okay. Well, we are gonna see this topic again in level 5. Obviously with more complicated vocabulary words, but don't worry, if you don't understand, you will definitely have a review for this in level 5. Let's go to the last lesson, the cool lesson. The passive voice. Okay, unit 12, lesson A. Here, the simple past passive. The formula for this is the receiver plus was or were, and then the verb in past participle form. The verb in past participle form. But first, why do we use the passive voice?
For news.
Okay.
To get the news.
For the news, yeah, but why? Why in the news is that common? Like, what's the purpose?
To put more emphasis on that.
Okay. To add
the main
emphasis on what?
On the
Object.
like, yeah.
On the object. Yeah, usually is the object, right? Usually is the object. For example, instead of saying someone found a fossil, you can say a fossil was found. And in the second sentence, we focus on the fossil, not the person. And in the first sentence, we focus on someone. Now, both sentences are correct. Both sentences are correct, but it just depends. Like, what do you want to focus on? Because linguistically speaking, the first word that we say is like the topic, is the thing that we give importance to. So you decide if you want to say an active sentence or a passive sentence. But if you're going to use a passive sentence, you got to be very careful because there is no object. In the first sentence, someone found a fossil. A fossil is the object of found. Okay, remember, an object is the person or thing that goes after the verb. So a fossil here is after the verb. It is the object. And a fossil was found. There is no object because in the passive voice, you cannot have an object. Let me write that. In the passive voice, you cannot have an object. And for my visual students, an object is the noun after the verb. Remember, a noun is a person, place, or thing. In this case, a fossil is the thing. It goes after the verb, so it is an object. I'm going to give you two sentences and you tell me which of them is correct. The apartment built in 1990. The apartment was built in 1990. Which sentence is correct?
B.
Letter B.
Okay, and why is letter A wrong?
Because it's necessary use to was and were to passive voice.
In the passive way. Okay, cool. So okay, we forgot was and were here. Good. And if I look at the sentence, the apartment built, el departamento construyó, it doesn't make sense. The apartment cannot build. Somebody can build the apartment, but the apartment cannot build because it's not alive. Okay. What about this sentence? Viviana, which one is correct? A or B?
B.
Sorry? You said B or A?
A.
A. Yeah, no, this one is wrong.
You're
This one is
playing
wrong.
with his mind.
Yeah. All right. All right. The man was built the apartment. El hombre fue construido el departamento. It does not make sense. Remember, the verb is was built, and here we have an object. In the passive voice, we cannot have an object. So this is correct. And the man built the apartment. Is this sentence active or passive?
Active.
It's active.
Active, yes. It's not passive.
It's active because the subject does the action.
We can use an object, but if we use by,
And
then in the end the sentence, no?
yeah, in that case, it is not an object, but I'll explain it. It's active because the subject did the action. Es activo porque el sujeto hizo la acción. Entonces el sujeto es activo porque está actuando. So the man built the apartment. The man did something. The man built. And Rociel, I like what you said. The apartment was built by, let's give the man a name, Henry, in 1990. The apartment was built by Henry in 1990. In this case, by is not an object. By Henry is not an object. By plus the agent. This is just to talk about the doer. The doer. But it's not an object.
Okay.
It's a prepositional phrase. It's the doer. So we have the receiver, el que recibe la acción. We have the doer, el que hace la acción. Henry is the doer because he built the apartment in that sentence.
Okay.
Okay. On the test, you're going to have a question like this. Valentina, a cell phone
Was found
was found. Good. Why not were found, Valentina?
because it's singular cell phone.
Okay, cell phone is singular and founded. No, because it's not active. Okay, cool. And that's all for unit 12, lesson A. In the other sentence, well, sorry, in the other lesson where we talked about natural disasters, we use the same formula, but we add more things to the formula. Here we added the adverbs. So after was and were, you're going to use the adverb. And if the doer is important, then you're going to put by the agent. Okay, so we take the same formula, but we make it more complicated. Let me give you some sentences. My house was completely destroyed by the tornado. The mall was partially damaged by the hurricane. So remember, we use by plus the agent when the doer is important. When the doer is important. And the cool thing is that you decide if it's important. You decide if the thing is important. I can say my house was completely destroyed, and that's fine. The mall was partially damaged, and that's fine. I can decide, and you can decide if the tornado or if the hurricane is worth mentioning. Okay? Si vale la pena mencionarlo, entonces usa by and the thing, and that's all. But you can decide. On the test, you're gonna have something like this. Bernarda, what's the correct answer?
Letter C.
Letter C. Can you read the sentence, please?
The jewelry store was completely destroyed by the flood.
Yes, the jewelry store was completely destroyed by the flood. All right, just remember the order. Remember the order. And that's all. You're only gonna have one question from this lesson, unit 12, lesson B. Simple past passive with adverbs and agents. Any questions? No?
Not sure.
All right, two things. On the test, you're gonna have a TOEFL styled reading comprehension section. Okay.
All right.
What that means is I'm gonna give you a text, you know, like you normally get, you get a test, and I want you to look at the time. You know, for example, if you start the test at 11:10, look at the time and only give yourself 7 minutes. Okay, only give yourself 7 minutes to finish the reading. There are 6 questions.
Just the reading.
Just the
Just
reading.
for the reading.
Just for the reading,
Okay.
yeah. And it's a TOEFL styled activity. you know, first you read the questions and then you look for the answers in the text. Okay, that's something really important. I know that some of you have the habit of reading the text and then looking at the questions. No, you got to look at the questions first and then find the answers in the text. Because if you try to read the text, you know, if you try to read everything in the text first and then read the questions, you're going to forget the things in the text and you're going to lose a lot of time. So it's much easier to read the questions and then find the answers in the text. Okay, and you can do it in 7 minutes, definitely. Okay, and the project.